Hey, what's going on, everybody? I've been on YouTube checking out everybody's capital punishment videos, and a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about this show. I'm hearing that, oh, it's going to be just another 3-hour Raw that you have to pay for. And, that very well could be true. However, I see a couple of positives going into this pay-per-view. I thought I'd go ahead and tell you about them. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what kind of positives do you see in this pay-per-view, Gold Izzy? Well, let's talk about it. Number one, this is a brand new pay-per-view, Capital Punishment, the first ever. So that obviously means that it's taking the spot of another pay-per-view, and it's taking the spot of a pay-per-view that had such a lame name, and that pay-per-view being Fatal 4-Way. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from the actual pay-per-view because I will admit that the actual pay-per-view last year, Fatal 4-Way, was really good. I enjoyed it. But the name was still lame, and it's good to see that WWE is getting a little bit creative. I like the theme, Capital Punishment. The name's cool, the theme's great. It's cool to see Barack Obama playing a part of it as well. Very cool. So there you go. There's a positive right there. No more Fatal 4-Way pay-per-views. Secondly, there's 7 matches already signed on this pay-per-view. The WWE doesn't really do that anymore. They usually just give us about 5 to 6 matches with some build, and then they'll throw together 2 matches, the night of the pay-per-view. So it's good to see that there are already 7 matches signed, and it's good to see that 7 matches have build going into this pay-per-view. That's good to see. So hopefully they'll only throw together, maybe 1 match the night of the show. But that's good to see. So, let's talk about some predictions now. The first match I'm going to talk about is, of course, CM Punk taking on Rey Mysterio. Now, we have seen these guys wrestle each other before, but, they're good workers. They work well with one another, so we're going to see a good match, no doubt there. So a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen. The WWE very well could let CM Punk win this match, with hopes that maybe that will entice him to stay. Of course, they might not care. They might just say, hey, we're going to book you to lose, and you can just, have a nice day. But I don't think the WWE is that stupid. I would definitely think that the WWE would want to keep CM Punk because he's a damn good worker. He's a good promo guy, damn good in the ring. That's definitely a loss to the WWE roster if CM Punk leaves the company. But here's another thing. CM Punk, he hasn't won a pay-per-view in a long time. Does anyone remember the last time he's won a pay-per-view? Because I certainly don't. And I would definitely think that CM Punk deserves a win on pay-per-view. So I just want to see him win because of that. Next up, we got Alex Riley taking on The Miz. I will say that this has been a pretty good program. I've really enjoyed it. It's crazy that out of nowhere, Alex Riley just destroys The Miz. The Miz is talking shit, and Alex Riley, he had enough of it, and he just went to town on him. And then what does he do the very next week? He does the exact same thing. He's trying to make a statement, and he's trying to make a statement with The Miz. And The Miz is going to have no part of that, I'm sure. I like this Alex Riley and Miz feud. You knew it was going to happen eventually, but I don't see Alex Riley just getting the win like that because Alex Riley just really hasn't had any matches on Raw. He hasn't really had any matches, period. Of course, as of late he has in the last couple of weeks, but he's been riding the Miz's coattails. He's just been hanging out in the shadow, in the background, He just really isn't doing anything. So having him just all of a sudden coming out and beating the Miz, not going to happen right off the bat. However, I do see this developing into, a long storyline. Maybe they can really keep this going for a couple more months, and then maybe a couple pay-per-views down the road, we can see Alex Riley finally getting that win. But I do like what's happening here, but I just don't see Alex Riley getting the win that quick. I am picking The Miz to win. Okay, next up we got the Big Show taking on Alberto Del Rio. And Alberto Del Rio and the Big Show, not really sure what to think about this match. I'm hoping we see a good match, but I don't think we will. The Big Show, he's got a bum leg. He got ran over by Ricardo Rodriguez. And so the Big Show's an angry, pissed off giant right now. And he's got a bum leg. So you got that going into the match. So it's not looking good for the Big Show. And, I kind of hope, and I don't want this to sound bad, but I kind of hope Alberto Del Rio takes advantage of the Big Show's bum leg. And I really hope he beats the Big Show. Alberto Del Rio needs a win. He needs a win on pay-per-view. He needs to get some cred. If Alberto Del Rio is going to be a future WWE champion, he has to start getting these wins now, not later. He needs to be winning on pay-per-view. The Big Show, I don't see the Big Show making another world title run. Big Show, he's not going to do anything like that, I don't think. So the Big Show, he's already been there, done that. So I want to see the Big Show put over Alberto Del Rio. I want to see that happen. Hopefully that will happen. I want to see Alberto Del Rio really just turn into a vicious heel and go after that bum leg and just, show him that, he is, the future of the WWE. So let's hope that Alberto Del Rio gets the win. Next up, we have Kofi Kingston taking on Dolph Ziggler. This is for the United States Championship. And this is going to be a good match. This is another match that we've seen before. Ziggler and Kofi Kingston work great with one another. So we're going to see a good match, no doubt there. Now, Kofi Kingston, he's the United States Champion. Not really doing much with the title. Of course, nobody really does anything with these mid-card titles. And that's not really their fault. You got to blame WWE creative team for that. You got to blame the writers. They're not really putting any focus on these mid-card titles, and it is a shame. But hopefully we can see a good match, and hopefully they will develop, a good feud for this United States title. You don't really see feuds for the mid-card titles, and that's what we need to see. Hopefully Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler can battle one another back and forth with a series of matches on pay-per-view, and maybe the IC title and the United States title, maybe both mid-card titles, can just really get some prestige back. But anyways, I want to see Dolph Ziggler win. Dolph Ziggler, he looks like he is going farther than Kofi Kingston will. Dolph Ziggler is more entertaining in the ring. I think he's a better worker, and he's a damn good heel. I like him. I think if Dolph Ziggler got the win and actually won the United States Championship, I think he would be able to do more for the title than Kofi Kingston's doing. But I'm picking Dolph Ziggler for the win. Next up is the Intercontinental Championship match. Wade Barrett putting his title on the line against Ezekiel Jackson. Now, this is what I think will happen. You got Wade Barrett and the core in his corner. He's got help in his corner, no doubt there. And you got Ezekiel Jackson, who has broken away from the core and trying to make a name for himself. So they've had a series of matches before, but the core has always been there to kind of help Wade Barrett retain the title some way, shape, or form. I don't really know if that's going to happen, though, this time around. I kind of see Ezekiel Jackson winning and actually winning the title as well. I think that would actually be good for Big Zeke's whole character because he's trying to break away, trying to do things on his own. What better way to do that than to just go ahead and win a singles title? I think maybe Big Zeke can actually bring some prestige back to this title as well. I was saying the same with Kingston and Dolph Ziggler. They're fighting for the U.S. title. Those mid-card titles, they do need to have some kind of attention to them. They're not just there. They used to mean a lot back in the old days, and they still need to mean something in this generation as well. I do think it's kind of sad that WWE has done this to these titles, but hopefully you can develop some storylines with them, some feuds. Two wrestlers feuding for the title is all you need to make the title worth something. So hopefully Kingston and Ziggler can do that, and hopefully Wade Barrett and maybe Big Zeke can do that as well with the Intercontinental title. But I'm going to pick Big Zeke to win this title. And then, of course, Wade Barrett will cash in that rematch clause, and I'm sure they'll battle back and forth a few more times. But Big Zeke for the win on this one. Okay, next up is the WWE Championship match. John Cena taking on R-Truth. Wow, R-Truth, man. Here he is, finally getting a World Championship title opportunity, and he's going to have to go through John Cena to get that title. I don't see R-Truth winning the world title. Not yet. I'm not saying he wouldn't do it maybe later on, further down that road, maybe. But not right now. R-Truth has done a tremendous job with changing his whole character. He's turned into a heel. He's developed a personality, and now he's actually entertaining. He's not boring anymore. And, I think he's done a great job at that, and I think that he will continue to do so. But I don't see him beating John Cena just yet, especially not for the title. But I don't know. I hope the match is actually good. R-Truth and John Cena, I think, have wrestled each other before, so they are not strangers to one another. Hopefully they can actually put on a good show. That's what I want to see. I want to see a damn good match. But John Cena's going to get this win, no doubt there. Okay, and last we have the World Heavyweight Championship match. Randy Orton putting the title on the line against Christian. Wow, Christian is a heel. I haven't talked about that yet on YouTube, and I gotta say, I do like Christian as a heel. He's been a heel before. He's not a stranger to it. And I think Christian, needed this. He's played the face for such a long time that I think he is, ready for something new. And Randy Orton, sure, he's the title holder right now. He's got that world title, but I don't think he's going to hold on to it. I think Christian's going to get the win. I want to see him win at least. He had that 5-day title reign a couple weeks back. He's pissed off about it. And here's the thing with that. He's already had all those rematches to try to get the title back. And now here he is again getting another opportunity, but this time as the heel. So maybe the new heel Christian could somehow, some way, find a way to win. Maybe he'll do something heelish to do it, but I don't think it matters. I think it would be cool if they would just give the title back to Christian as the heel. Christian can hold on to it. Maybe Randy Orton can have a little bit of a longer feud. Who knows? But I'm going to pick Christian to win because something big has to happen at this pay-per-view. Something big does have to happen. I don't really... Now, having R-Truth beat John Cena, that would be huge and that would be big, but that wouldn't be smart, I don't think. But having a guy like Christian beat Randy Orton for the title, that would be huge. That would be huge for the pay-per-view. That would be a great moment for the show. So I would hope that maybe that will happen. I really want to see Christian win the title again and have a longer title reign. At least for a couple of months, at least. Alright guys, well that's it for now. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? This is Gold Dizzy. Peace out, guys.